Forget traffic jams and inaccessible bumpy roads. Taking a chopper is certainly a faster way to travel, but its greatest appeal lies in the bird's-eye view of the country's beautiful landscapes that this form of transport offers.
It gives a completely different perspective of what the Cape is like. You see things from a different way. It gives you a much bigger, more open view of the scenery here in the Cape.
Cape Town's helicopter market has seen enormous growth in the last 2 years. This is evident in the growing trend amongst hotels and restaurants to have their own landing spots on site, where helicopters touch down safely and conveniently.
Most of our destinations that we go to are the popular wine farms and restaurants on the wine farms. A lot of tourists like to go out and do wine tastings and then eat at the restaurants afterwards. Otherwise, it's travelling down to see whales in Hermanus or to go shark diving in Gans Bay.
This is known as Chapman Creek Drive, running along on our right at the moment. As we turn, you'll get a good view of the drive.
The average speed of the helicopter is just under 200 kilometers an hour. It's fine when you're up at 1,000 feet. Your perspective of speed is vastly reduced, so it gives you plenty of time to see all the scenery.
This area here on our left is the Strand, coming around to Gordon's Bay and then heading around the coast towards Claymont.
Above all, a helicopter can take passengers to remote areas that are difficult to reach by any other means. This is the case in Africa especially, where many of Mother Nature's treasures are hidden in places that no car can reach.
We're flying overhead the Bot River estuary at the moment. There are some wild horses that live here in the estuary. Apparently a very rare amount of these horses living in the water.
From a leisure side, that often we're finding that, in this high-pressured world is that people have less and less time for leisure and try and pack in as much for their holiday. And we're finding that a lot of people are flying off into private game reserves from here without having delays on the public roads, etc.
In the end, a helicopter trip is an experience in itself, during which the ride and the sense of freedom that accompanies it becomes as exhilarating as reaching your destination.
I think it's got the versatility. You can literally land wherever you want to, and you can get to places so quickly. You don't need runways. You can go and land on a mountain and make your own changes up there if you want to. It's just a great experience.
In the Cedarburg, on this particular property, we have a lot of paintings of people. In fact, the human figures are the most commonly painted in the rock art, followed by eland, and we have a couple of eland torsos, possibly one there, just remains of eland, and then followed by elephant paintings. So those are the three main categories in this rock art.
Traditional rock art was the San people's chief form of expression thousands of years ago. Here at South Africa's Bushman's Kloof Wilderness Reserve, foreigners and locals alike come to enjoy a unique African experience as they explore the many painting sites that were discovered here.
When guests come here, very much we like to get them in touch with nature. For example, we'll have a bush breakfast in the morning rather than have it up at the restaurant. Then we'll do a short drive, a walk, and we come to the paintings. In the afternoons, again, game drive and sundowners out in the bush, and just gives you that nice feeling.
Rock art's value as a tourist attraction is a fairly recent discovery. Bushman's Kloof strikes the perfect balance between nature, with adventurous outings to rock art sites, and the luxury its first-class lodging offers.
We try and incorporate the bush experience by taking our guests out into the reserve, showing them the animals that are on the property, as well as the Bushman rock art, where the Bushmen used to live, and we explain to them and tell them how they used to live their lives, but then still bring them back to the luxuriousness and comfort of a 5-star Relaine Chateau Lodge.
But there are dangers that increased tourism brings with it. The rock art sites are not designed to accommodate large numbers of visitors, and the art's survival will be threatened if tourism goes unchecked. Bushman's Kloof recently appointed an archaeologist to find a safe balance between tourism and preservation.
The balance between tourism and the use of these sites, the Bushman painting sites, is quite a tricky one. At the one end of the scale, we want to ensure that people get access to these sites and they understand the meaning behind and the cultures of the people that made these paintings. But on the other end of the scale, human pressure is creating problems in terms of preserving these paintings. So what we're trying to do is to create a balance between those two interests.
It has been 200 years since the last rock painting was completed, and unfortunately, there is no one left to explain their true meaning. The best we can do is make an educated guess.
There's many different meanings. It's quite highly debated, but basically the main idea that we have is that it's very much related to the spiritual side of the Bushman culture.
And part of what I'm doing here is to search for more sites in addition to the ones that we already know, and to carry out some research on these paintings and the archaeology of these people.